Hello, hello, you guys. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Hi, welcome in. Great to see everybody. Wonderful to have you with us. Hi. Okay, we're getting everybody in. Good morning. I hope you guys are off to a good start for the day. My day is off into an awesome start. I had a great call with my daughter and her new boyfriend, they're moving in together, which is like this is like I think this is the one. I think it's the one, you guys. It's so exciting. So it could be like a new man in our family, and he's wonderful. So anyway, I'm just like full of happy now. I'm full of happy. So yeah, so my daughter is just like glowingly happy with this wonderful guy. So anyways, so thank you for coming. We're chatting today, and we're just chatting in general, but I'm excited to introduce you guys to three people who are just generally like extremely amazing people. So when you're in presence with these people, you feel their heart. And they're open, they're loving, like they're amazing people. So I'm just excited for you to meet them in general. But also they have been so generous as to come and share their experience of soul convergence and just to answer any questions that you guys hearing it from people who have been through the process, who understand it deeply, is a lot more compelling than me or Wendy telling you about the experience. And so if you have any questions about it, if you want to know what's for you, and don't worry about like even if the questions might be challenging questions, like no one's offended. This is your journey. This is very like the idea of thinking about doing soul convergence. It's a big commitment of energy on your part. And everyone's journey is unique. So it's important that you are heard in terms of if you have concerns, if you have questions, like this is a great opportunity, and just lay it all out there. There's, like I said, don't worry about how it may come off. If you have a challenging question, we're absolutely open and receptive to talking about whatever it is on your heart. Okay. So that said, I would love to first introduce you to three super awesome people. So let me go ahead and bring you guys into a spotlight, so we can get, if you guys don't mind. So this is Christy, and then here we go. Hello, hello. And then here we go. Here is Erin,
Hello,
and then
everyone.
here is Amina. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in and join with you guys because I chat a lot. I'm always talking. Okay, so hi you guys. So here are three amazing people, as I was mentioning. Aaron and Christy, how long ago did you guys come to how long did you guys find the work that I do with the angels? How did you both come to it? And I know Amina came to it differently, so I'll ask her separately. But for the both of you.
I found you on YouTube. I never was a YouTuber until the angels came and yanked me out of my job and said, "Hey, we have something else for you to do. Start watching YouTube." Seriously, that's how it happened.
Oh my gosh,
And
seriously?
yes, yeah, all of a sudden I'm home, I am not working, and what am I supposed to do? Oh, you're supposed to watch YouTube. Okay. And that's
That's
how I
so
found you. Yeah. You just, I mean, I just resonated with your message and the angels. And so when I heard about Soul Convergence, I went, yes, sign me up.
I love it. I love it. And how about for you, Erin?
So in the last year of my professional career, which was 2024, I was listening to Pam Gregory a lot on my commute to work, and it was your very first time coming on her show, which I don't remember the exact date, but it wasn't that long ago. Like it
Yeah,
wasn't
it wasn't.
years
Yeah.
years ago. So I think it was 2024. And the minute I heard you on Pam Gregory's show, again, like Christy said, it just really resonated with me. And I couldn't get enough. So I had a very long commute, hour and a half each way. And I was just listening to you and Pam on my commute. And I was just trying to go back and listen to everything I could get my hands on that you had on YouTube. And then in October, I think, or of 24, I decided to sign up for the Soul Convergence. And
Yes.
the minute my life started to change, the minute I signed up, and
Wow.
one of the first things my a friend of mine just gave me a gold angel pin out of nowhere at work. And I wore it on my lanyard, and I took it as a sign, like, all right, this is
Oh, that's
gonna
awesome.
be,
You are on the journey, right? The
yeah.
journey has begun.
Yeah, so that was your last year running in last fall, I guess. Was that
Mhm.
yeah, into 2024.
Yeah, that is awesome. And it was about the same time frame for you, Christy, wasn't it? About a
Yeah,
year ago
February 2025.
is when
Mm-hmm.
that happened. So that is
I'm
awesome.
sorry, 2024. Yeah.
2024. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so awesome. And then so Amina, we've known each other actually for a long time. So Amina, how did we even first meet, Amina?
Well, that was 2019 when I randomly ran into Michael Sheridan on Facebook and he said, do my weekend course.
Yeah.
And I did that. And then from there, he said, do my other course. And I was like, okay. And
Yes.
I was convinced then. And then in that course, he introduced me to you, Anne.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I didn't know you. And then it was one of these bonus people that would work with us. And then you just worked me in such a way that I was like, what just happened? And then from there, it was a childhood trauma that was in the dream that Michael said, go to Anne, she'll find it. And you did. And from there, I was like, I have to listen to her. What is she doing? And then from there, it just went on. And I joined, I think, Michael's course and Golden Circle. And then everything you did, I just didn't question.
Yes. Yeah, it's been and so it's been amazing because I've had the privilege of building personal relationships with these ladies through over time and in-person events and so Amina has come all the way up from Luxembourg many times and Christy was at our last big event and Erin was at both all of them I've been able to spend personal time with in person, which is just I just love, I'm all about the connection. For me, that's where the joy is. And so it's really incredible to have built these relationships with you guys and to be part of your journey has just been such an incredible honor. So I know I want to leave it open to anybody who has questions about Soul Convergence or about really anything that comes up. But the idea here was Soul Convergence. But if you have questions, please just pop them in the chat, and we'll keep talking. But this is really your session for everybody that's here. This is your session. So please, anything that's been on your mind, just let us know. Drop it in, and then we will share the question with everybody. So I would love to have you guys share, like, as you were considering signing up for a program like this, could be Soul Convergence or it could be any really deep healing program. What are some of the concerns that came up for you when those moments where you were wondering, am I doing the right thing? What was in your mind?
Well, for me, I had just left my job. So I was like, can I afford this? It's an investment. And in very short order, I just had the faith. I've never really worried about money. I've been fortunate that way that I just always know I'll be cared for, but it was still a big consideration. And my guides just said, go for it. And it was life-changing. The investment was worth it. No regrets. And I'm still not working and I'm making ends meet and I'm just not concerned about it. So that was one thing. And then whether or not I would be disciplined enough to follow the program, do the meditations and put the hard work into it because it is an investment that I needed to make personally. And boy, because it was such a right match, all of that came easily for me. Oh, every day I was doing the meditation, really took it seriously. I think I got more out of the meditations than I ever had in meditating prior. It just was right. So
That
those are
is
my two big concerns. And I think just going with what your gut feels right, that's the key. Follow whatever your guides, whatever your intuition is giving you.
I love it.
I'd like
Yeah.
to answer Lori's question that she just popped in the chat, if that's okay.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Erin.
So just to answer her question, so it's how is soul convergence similar or different from peace bathing? I feel like I'm getting energy work done during peace bathing. So I'll give you my example of how the two are different because I also do peace bathing. So for me, just a little bit of background, I wrote some notes for myself because there are some points I definitely wanted you guys to leave with. Um, so I am what I led a very traditional life, trad life, as they say, like, or I'm a very traditional person, meaning that I had a very a professional career for 20 years that was very conservative and very a lot of rules and a lot of formality. And I was Catholic, or I am Catholic, and so was still very involved in the church. But I just was yearning for more, and I started listening to Pam Gregory, and I was then started listening to Anne, and I just felt this need for expansion. And so what I started listening to the peace bathing, and I'm like, but I want to go deeper. Like I want to like go through the levels. And so what the difference is in my experience, the difference is that I feel the angels have tailored the sessions of soul convergence for each and every one of us to walk through different aspects of our lives and to uncover wounding from the feminine and the masculine side, which I didn't even understand what that meant when I got started. But just to give an example, so I feel after taking this course that we all kind of have similar wounds, and the angels have created this amazing program with these several meditations to just walk us through in a safe, like you guys use the word container, but in a very safe and loving way where you can just open up and acknowledge and release things that are wounds that are there that you may not even be aware of. For example, I was able to look in and heal womb/birth wounding that I didn't even know was affecting the prison was affecting the way I perceived my world. I was 3 months premature. I had been given up for adoption by a teenage mom who was into drugs, and this is in the 70s. But I was adopted and didn't even think of my birth parents at all in my life. But it was this uncovering of going through the soul convergence courses, and there was one meditation in particular that I was listening to, and I all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I could feel myself in my biological mother's womb. I could feel her feelings of being super scared because she was 15, being really scared, not wanting this. I could feel all of her feelings. And um, so that is just a profound example that I would have never have known that I needed to look at and heal and integrate that part of myself because like I said, I was adopted. I had a very fortunate upbringing. And I just didn't even think to go back that I could go back that far and to work on healing from that perspective. So that was life changing. And the way that they structure it is just ingenious. So I don't want to talk too long, but I just want to answer that question. That is one of the big examples in my life of how it's structured differently. It's the format's the same, like you do the grounding and they come in and talk to you and walk you through. Um, it's kind of funny in some respects how they do it. We're gonna put you in a cave. No, but it is really funny, but that's how it was. The two are very different. And I hope that that is a good answer for you, Lori. I just wanted to give a concrete example.
I love that. I think the personal example is so helpful. And I think it's a great question because the peace bathing it is a powerful healing every time, but it is focused on helping us adapt to the new energies that are coming in. Like what's happening in our world this month? What are we heading? And it's always sort of like for the month coming. And peace bathing kind of gets us in alignment with those energies so that we can move with whatever good things are coming our way. and they're helping us to kind of influence and also help to influence the collective in those sessions, which is amazing. So it's for us, but it's also for the collective. And then they bring us in those sessions, they bring us usually up into a frequency of peace, which is where they can most easily access our frequency, and they can help us to be more accustomed to things like unity consciousness, things like that. That's the kind of work that they're doing, is trying to help us embrace more of the new consciousness that we're moving into. But it doesn't really address the what about if we have, I always talk about the book that is what we're meant to be reading in this phase of existence in our 3D consciousness. We each have sort of a book of our soul. And in the book of our soul, there's sort of the deep patterns and the wounding that we carry from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime, most of which is embedded in that. We draw it into this life from like the womb to age 7. And that is the focus of Soul Convergence. So the structures, and some of you were asking, it's extremely structured, where the way I describe it is you have almost like 2 plates. You have Soul Convergence 1 and you have Soul Convergence 2, and they go together, but they're 2 different structures. One is from the masculine perspective and one is from the feminine perspective. Like one is the plate of masculine energy, the other one is the plate of feminine energy. So within that, with the Soul Convergence 1, we look at it from the masculine perspective, which is very structured, and you can understand where each session is going. But within that, we start out by working on all of our masculine issues, and then we move to working on our feminine issues, all from the masculine perspective. And it's different meditations. Every 4 days, you get a new meditation and you work through it. And with the Soul Convergence, more is more. When you reach a place in the program where it gets sticky, if you're going through a peak of emotion, the idea is double down. Like if it comes up, and it will, and you guys can attest to this, there will be periods where there's a lot that comes up. The idea is do the meditation. If you can do it 3 times that day, phenomenal. And there'll be other times where you're kind of coasting. You're like, all right, this is beautiful, but I'm easy, I'm flowing. You just do it once then. But you use it as a way, and what it does, every time you do it, it opens that portal between you and the angels, and they will help you through lifting the heaviest of traumas in a really, really gentle way. And then we switch after Soul Convergence 1, we switch into Soul Convergence 2, and we start looking at those same energies from the feminine perspective. And the sessions feel totally different, right? Wouldn't you guys say that they're no longer so structured? They're very, very flowy, but we start looking at the masculine energy from the feminine energy. Then we look at feminine energy from the feminine perspective. So it's that by doing it this way, you get this incredibly comprehensive healing of those deep issues. So yeah, so hopefully that adds some more. And it is you're meant to do a meditation ideally every day. If you end up skipping a day or even skipping 3 days, you just get back on the horse. The idea is just not to give up. You keep showing up and doing it. And like I said, more is more. But there are times when things get in the way, and it's okay. You just pick up where you left off and you keep on going. Because life sometimes gets in the way. So it's one of those things. It's your journey. Everybody, it's very forgiving. That is the point, to forgive ourselves, right? There's no one right way, but ideally that it's structured so that you will do 1 meditation a day or more in really, really peak periods where a lot's coming. And that peak period is going to be individual for every person. Yeah. Yeah. How about for you, Amina?
So I have different angles coming into Soul Convergence, but I have to say the very first thing when I started my healing journey, I was totally in the not corporate, yeah, but public education world, where I didn't want to give it up. I thought that was there, and I can't ever give it up because I can't afford to lose that income. It was hard. My dreams told me to do it. It took me 6 months to believe my dreams. And then when I did, I let go for 1.5 years, and it was hard, but I'm back to where I was. Slowly, I trained into dream interpretation, into coaching, I tapped into my gifts. So now I can intuitively channel, and it's quite strong. And I really trusted. So I was a very much in my head person. So everything had to be understood, analyzed. I don't know. How does it work? Do I have to do all the methods? So I was that person. And then gradually I learned to trust. So that was one angle. And when I entered into that, but I had done Golden Circle with Anne. So we did that for 2.5 years.
Journey is perfect, that may be the biggest wound. And if they can overcome that one wound, then all of a sudden it opens them to their gifts, and it opens them to, which is what's amazing.
Very important one. And it doesn't mean that because we say trust and it's going to work tomorrow, we will trust. That takes a lot of investment in ourselves to really trust. that the angels are really going to do this, and really believe it with all your heart.
Yeah.
And then know that it doesn't spare you from any traumas, because I've gone through stuff like, I've healed, so everything's going to be nice. No, they send you experiences again. It's, oh, you thought you were healed? I'll check this one. So for me, unconditional love is a big one, where I always put others first instead of me. So they taught me a very good lesson in that one. And I'm now moving on, and I understand. But it's a conversation with the angels. So peace bathing, as Erin was saying, it's more general, but it's also the angels talk generally. But all the messages that Anne will do, Friday Live, Soul Convergence, any healing, any blessing, it'll be general, and at the same time, you will find one message for you. You will find one message for you, and find that message. When you find it, and then you listen to it and say, what is it telling me? And then you act on it. And I think this is a really deep work that we can do, and no one can do that for us. No one can do that for us, only us. So that's what
Yeah.
I think.
I love that. And Amina's famous for, she goes very, very deep in the work. Like she is that person who's like, she works, I think you work on yourself more than anyone I know, Amina. She's very, very dedicated and has had incredible growth in her life because of it. Like it's a really cool testament to what happens through the process of working on yourself, to see how you did transition in, like you said, now you fully replaced your income, but doing work that you love. You know, it's like things like that. It's really, really cool to see. I want to come up and take a peek at the questions. If
Yeah,
you are asking great
I
questions.
wanted to answer Maggie's
Yeah.
question, if that's
Oh,
okay.
thank you. Perfect.
What do you wish you had known before you embarked on the SC journey? And had you known it beforehand, would you have approached or done things differently as you went through the program? So I would have just like I think Amina's saying, the trust that you're, when you have the nudge to sign up for this, just go with it and just immediately trust. And for me, I had to build up a tolerance for listening to the frequencies. So in the beginning, I just started listening to these before I went to bed. And then the next day, because you have 4 days with each session. And so then the next day I would listen to it and try to stay awake more. And then by the fourth day, I was sitting upright, listening to the whole thing. But so I want to give just an example of, if I had known this beforehand, you couldn't have told me that this would have been so. To answer that question, so it's been like 8 months or so, 8 or 9 months since I retired, and I had started Soul Convergence 1 like the week I retired or something. So I recently just went back into my work environment, and I had people coming up to me that had not seen me in 8, 9 months, and they were saying things like, "You look bright. You look rested. You look," I mean, I looked different to everyone. And they interact. I mean, I was like, people were coming up to me and just like noticing things that I didn't know had changed until I was getting that feedback. And the thing that one of the big impactful things that I wrote down here is that I came from this very traditional, professional, and religious environments. And now I can go back into those environments. I've dissolved some of the triggers, and I can re-enter those environments and maintain a high vibe that is like beneficial to everyone in those environments, instead of saying, oh, that's bad and I'm going to avoid it. It just shows how much of this healing that I've integrated into myself, and I can go back into these environments and just not be triggered the same way that I was. And the other thing that was so impactful is that I am in touch with my truth now. So when someone says something in the church or at work that didn't resonate with me, I would just bristle before and be like, oh, but I don't know what that means. But now through this healing, I've opened up a clearer understanding and a more connection to my heart, and a more, so that I can go in and be like, yeah, this aspect of church resonates with me and this does not. But it's okay. I don't have to run away from it. I can just stay there, and then I'm watching how people are responding to me and saying things like, you look bright, you look rested. You look, your whole everything is different. So that was a big thing, Maggie. If you would have told me beforehand that that would have been the type of transformation, I wouldn't have believed it. So you guys are about to embark on the most incredible journey.
Thank you so much for that, Erin. That is awesome. How about Christy? Do you have a answer for? I think it's a great question. Was there anything you would add to that, Christy? About so, what would you wish you have known?
I don't actually for that question, but Phoebe's question, I could
Yeah.
definitely jump into.
Oh, love it. Let's
When the
hear it.
time's right.
Yeah, no, let's hear it. Please go ahead, wherever you're inspired.
Yeah, I just have a sense, she's talking about PTSD from childhood, and having done so much work. I also had a lot of sexual and physical abuse in the family, and have gone to many therapy groups, abuse groups. I mean, I can remember a woman in a support group, abuse support group, getting angry, and I lunged out of my chair and vaulted the couch for the door and ran out because her anger scared me so much.
Wow.
And it's so years, decades, and still there's always, more layers. And soul convergence, again, it's so specialized that, I was able to go in and yeah, as far as feeling triggered, it brought up some deep stuff. But there, I had the support of a dream, what do we call them? Dream counselor?
Your soul convergence guide. Yeah.
Soul Convergence guide, that I was, helping me review my dreams, supporting me in my feelings. So I didn't feel alone. I felt very supported going through it, but definitely it brought up what needed to be brought up, and it all comes up in layers. Only the stuff that I was ready for came up. And as I've gone further in my healing, other stuff comes up, other layers. So if you're feeling guided, I say go for it. Just feel the trust and just go for it. It's going to be life-changing for you.
I love that you also had a physical manifestation of healing some of those wounds. Would you share what happened for you, Christy?
Yes. I got through the masculine and the feminine, Soul Convergence 1 and 2. And just as I was going into activate your gifts, I was listening. I was on the live transmission, and all of a sudden I could hear out of my left ear. I mean, I could tell you exactly when it happened. 15 years prior to that, I had woke up one morning and the hearing in my left ear was decreased considerably. A couple weeks later, again, I woke up in the morning, the hearing I had lost even more hearing. But and it came out that that happened because I wasn't listening to my guides. So get my attention. You're not listening, you can't hear. Okay, you can't hear. And I'm just getting goosebumps even talking about it. But it came back right while I was listening to the angels, the transmission with Anne and the angels. And I just had to, tell Wendy and Anne right away, oh my God, they didn't know my hearing I'd lost hearing. And yeah, it came back and I went to the doctor. And, because I knew enough to document this and let Anne have this information. I had records from when I'd lost the hearing. So I was able to provide her with that. And the doctor actually used, and I've never really heard doctors use the word miracle, but he said, people don't come here, especially older seniors. They don't come here to say, oh, my hearing's returned or my hearing's better. Will you check that? That doesn't happen. He says, I can't describe it any other way than a miracle. So it was fabulous. And yeah, I'm just so grateful.
So incredible. I was just so excited to hear when that happened. It's so amazing. I think that for you to have that physical proof, even for yourself, Christy, to see that it's like talk about having faith in your guides and that you're held and that you're supported. That it's just such an incredible thing to be able to really deeply integrate. Because I think even like it happens for me still. I still sometimes they'll tell me like miracles are coming, and I'll be like, oh, that's nice. Like it's hard to like let that really like no really they're really coming, like it's hard to believe it, but when you have a proof right in front of you, here it is, like it's easier. It gets like, oh wow, if that happened, then what else is possible? Yeah, it's
That's
so
absolutely
cool.
true. That's absolutely true that the word miracle, we've used it all our lives, like, oh yeah, it's a miracle. No, this is real. This really is happening, and it's happening to everyday people like you and me.
So amazing. So amazing. So I wanted to jump in and answer. Mary Lane said she's worried about accidentally clearing herself. And I wanted to just reassure you that we will have many people in the program who are professional healers that are working on other people. It's no problem you worth yourself. Like you, because you are going to be in the process on your own. Like even if it's like, and it's only the issue of other people, other people's consciousness working on you. That's the only concern. So it wouldn't matter. Like if your job is to be a healer, if you're out healing other people, that is no problem. You can continue to do that throughout the program and continue working. You just don't want to have and the reason is you don't want to have another, you don't want to have your energy cleared out. Because what's happening through this program is you're building up. It's like a reservoir of energy that then is used later to help to activate your gifts. So you don't want any kind of flush out. Most energy healing practices will work by flushing the energy from your system. They'll clear out your chakras. And we're trying to build up a system. We're trying to build up energy in layers, but working on yourself. Honestly, that is what you're doing throughout Soul Convergence, that the angels provide the pathway and you are the one that's actually allowing the healing to happen. So if it's you on you, great. Not to worry, but it's other people working on you that is the concern. So hopefully that reassures that that to be, and it's really the way that we work on ourselves is by trying our best to get out of our own way. And boy, have I learned that in spades more and more and more, that it's always me in my own way, various layers and layers of me in my own way. So, okay, beautiful, beautiful answer so far, you guys. Thank you. Let's keep going. So is there anything that you've seen a question? Anybody else want to specifically answer a
I
question?
wanted to answer Cindy's question. And Cindy was saying if she works full time and whether she will have time to do it. So I've personally done the journey and have worked with many of those where I was a guide and they were working full time. Again, I will come back to how much priority do you give deeply to that journey. It's all about how much the intention that you have. I will always say that it depends on your intention deeply. I work also now full time. The angels used to say, okay, I used to say education and then my spiritual journey. They told me, no, this is all your spiritual journey. The way you talk to schools, the way you talk to teachers, it's part of your path. So I work full time on that. Now I work with teachers, with students, a lot of coaching and a lot of compassion that I bring in that. But that takes me a lot of time. So that takes me almost now 80% of my time. And I travel all the time and I'm across time zones. But whatever you do, if you know that no matter how big that is for me, if I don't put my healing journey first, the other bits will suffer, will take the toll. So if you put your healing journey first, the angels arrange the other bits.
Oh my gosh, that's so genius. I mean, I so agree with that. I always was under the illusion that I had to get my life in order so that I could do the work of spirit. And they were like, nope. The
Oh,
idea is jump in first, jump into the
yeah.
unknown and then let life unfold the way it's meant to. Yeah, you're
So
so
I was a person who plans everything, my dates of travel. They told me when I was thinking, I can't do this, I can't travel here because, maybe there's going to be the earth rift, maybe there's going to be this, I can't go. And they told me, just go. And If you're going to be in danger, we will speak aloud. We will let you know you won't be able to book your ticket and you will not go. And I just now trust. I'm not afraid anymore. I know they will stop me from doing things. I've had 2 cases where I was meant to travel. They said, no, my tickets just couldn't book them. Or at the last minute, somebody said, oh, you don't need to come now. And I was like, okay, I didn't see that coming, but I've stopped planning. Really, I've stopped planning. And this is a big one. It's huge for me to stop planning. And you know that at the beginning, I would not live without a plan. And now I'm
Yes.
like, it's going
Yeah.
to happen the way it's going to happen.
It is amazing to actually, having seen you and having known you for a longer period of time, is to see how you've changed so much in that way. And now you live so much in flow. It's really,
Yeah.
really awesome to witness. Yeah, absolutely.
So your work is going to, if we think of our work as the biggest thing because it's going to bring us income, because it brings us security, because we want that. But what we don't know is what we don't know. It's like the angels say, we have a plan, they have a plan. And they told me, if you make your plan and full block, your planning is full, we don't have place to put our plan.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful.
leave
Yeah.
space in your, don't plan everything so we can insert things. So I'm like, okay,
Ah,
I will not do that. I will just do a bit of my plan and then they will add the rest of their plans. They
yeah.
ask me, how can we insert things if you don't have place on your plan?
You're all planned out. I
I'm all
love that,
planned out.
Amina.
I had to stop that 2 years ago. So since then
Yeah.
I stopped, and you have to listen to all the messages, I think. And you've been a model for me. When the angels tell you something, you listen. I try my best to listen. Doesn't always work, but when we do listen, it does work.
I do
I
love
think
that so much.
that's also what Soul Convergence helped me with, is really getting in tune and listening to my guides. I mean, I only really started paying attention to them right before Soul Convergence. I mean, I can even say when it happened. I was doing laundry at a place I was staying, taking care of pets, and I thought I dropped a pillowcase, but I just kept going up the steps. Oh, I'm not even gonna look. I'm sure I didn't. And I got up and of course got upstairs and the pillowcase was not there. And I said right then and there to my guides, okay, I'm gonna pay attention. I am now gonna listen when you say, that was the nudge. You dropped something. Look, pick it up. And I didn't listen. And from that moment on, I listened
Wow.
to them.
Wow. Isn't it funny how it doesn't have to be an earth-shattering moment, that they're present with us in all the little things? Like, they're literally like, no part of our life is too mundane for them. And if it's like, hey, you dropped a pillowcase, like, that's not above their notice. You know what I mean? Like, they're literally
Yeah.
there with us through all the boring stuff too. They're right next to us. Yeah. I love that. I love that as like the moment, you know what I mean? The pillowcase moment.
I'll never forget it.
Yeah. So I wanted to answer, there was a couple structural questions about how the program is structured, just to kind of go over it quickly. That we mentioned that there's a new session that you get every 4 days, and that you're meant to work with each one for 4 days. Some people will get really deep into a session and they'll be like, I just need another day with this one. What Erin was mentioning is that she acclimates to the session, that in the beginning, sometimes some people will fall asleep. You'll come in and start the session. You'll be totally awake. You had a great night's sleep. You'll turn on the session. You will fall asleep within 2 seconds. And that's just because the frequencies that are coming through it's like they have to free up energy in the body to process. And the thing that takes the most energy is the brain. So they just turn it off and they let the body have more resources to process what's happening. But then as you acclimate, then you're able to stay awake. So that doesn't happen for everybody. It happens for some people. So it's just a thing to know. That's why I say we never judge our experience, because we trust that it's perfect for where you are right now, for what's happening with your healing. But anyways, there may be some that people are like, I think I need an extra day. That's okay. It's just you try to stay on track with the group in general. But with you get a new session every 4 days, you work with them at your own pace. And then we also have the support where you get one-on-one sessions with your Soul Convergence guides. And the Soul Convergence guides are all graduates of the Ashling School of Dream Analysis, which is the same method that I have always followed for myself and my own dreams, and I love it. And so these are all people who have gone through a very extensive, like year-long mentoring program, learning how to do that. So, but it does not matter if you do not dream. So a lot of people worry about that. What if I don't have any dreams? Don't worry about it. Like the dreams are there. If you dream, this is a really cool way to support you. But, and what I love about it is what you will see in your dreams. And this is why we incorporate the dreams in the experience, is because what you'll see is you will see the transformation happening through the dreams. So like with Amina, where in the beginning, the windows are closed, the shades are drawn, she's fearful. Then as she goes 3, 4, 5 sessions later, she's opening the curtains, letting the light in, right? It's a clear progression. So you'll start the dreams out if you have issues with your masculine energy. It'll start out where mean men are shooting at you with guns, and then times goes on and suddenly the men are kind of nice, and they're only mildly threatening. And then you go a few more sessions and all of a sudden you're like best buddies with the guys. Like it just progresses, and you see the progression in the dreams, which is amazing. So I think it's inspiring. It keeps you going. It makes you realize this is working, because so often we do things we don't know if they're working, but it's a way of tracking it. But if you don't dream, the sessions, the guides that you're working with, the Soul Convergence guys, will help you to access what's going on in your subconscious in other ways. They help you to use your real life triggers. They can help you do sort of subconscious walking through what's going on in your life. So it's still incredibly helpful to have that person to kind of share the experience with. So don't worry if you don't dream, but if you do dream, it's a great access point that we like to take advantage of. But so you have those sessions, which are one-on-one personal sessions for you. And then we also do group sessions, which are with me and the cohort that is going to be going through together. And in those sessions, I bring in the angels, and it is a healing session, and they vary every single time. There's not two that are the same. It's like but that it's going to be very specific to what's going on with you guys. It kind of takes account for what's happening in the energies of the moment combined with the healing that you're going through. So those sessions, I always look forward to them. They're always deep. They're always amazing. So those are, and it's just really, really cool to touch base live as a group going through the experience together. And we have 3 of those during, like, so Soul Convergence 1, and then we have Soul Convergence 2. And same thing, you get sessions, and I think when you can put in the exact numbers and the structure so you guys have it, what we have of each thing. Then you have, what was I going to say? Then we also have the Soul Convergence Facebook group. So that's where, and that's an amazing place to go in for connection with everybody else. Because there's nothing like saying, hey, I had this wild thing happening with me, or, oh my gosh, I'm really feeling and feels at the moment. And you go in and there's all the other people who are going through the same thing you're going through. And that is powerful. And the people that are in this together, I mean, like you can feel with the vibe here with Christy and Aaron and Amina, the people that go through this are really high vibe, amazing people. So it's the support in the community is like a super standout experience. I believe that Facebook group, you can go back and look, and people will also post, wow, I had an incredible breakthrough, and that's inspiring. So that is actually a really significant piece of it. It's really helpful to have that, I feel. And I think I've heard that again. And wouldn't you guys say that has been a really amazing piece?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And
so does that,
so
hopefully that
I-
answers.
yeah.
What were you going to say, Erin?
I was just gonna say it, because it's with other healing, or if you're doing counseling, you're kind of on your own. Like you'd leave a traditional counseling session, you'd be driving home, and like, something came up, and what just happened. But you have the way the angels organize the sessions. It's like, because someone was asking what I'm afraid if I'm aware of like PTSD, or I'm aware of some of my woundings, and I'm afraid that going through this would trigger things and I would get stuck in them. It's a brilliant way that the angels design these sessions, where they gently bring you in to the masculine and feminine are both in SC1 and SC2, but they bring you in, they get you to surface something, will surface that's just right for you, but you're looking at it from a different perspective, and it's not coming at it from your old way of like glossing over your wounds. It's like they're kind of talking to you while you're raising the wounding, and then they surround you with love at the end of the session. So they don't just like leave you with, oh my gosh, this wound has surfaced. They don't just be like, okay, see ya. They like, the method of each session, like they bring you in, something surfaces, and then they like bring you back out, but in such a loving way. And then it's like they correct the way you looked at that wound. It's like they're like, no, you are love. You are not the things that have happened to you, but it's making you, it's so it's full circle. They don't leave you with something. And I would say I didn't feel I was triggered by things in a way that then I went through the rest of my day like messed up. It was like you'd have the aha moments of like, oh, that's why I went through that, or that's why that happened. And it's like I just was able to just kind of heal that in a way that I never could before through other traditional methods. So I
I
hope
think
that answers.
I wanted to just jump in and piggyback on that for a quick moment. I I think what the angels were able to do is help me see a new perspective. Like when it felt like, oh, that's depression coming. They were able to help me to see, no, these are your feelings coming up so that you can look at them and let them go. It's this isn't a blanket of depression the way I used to see it. And you don't have to run or hide. It was just a new way of looking at it. And that's part of the healing. It
Yeah.
healed my perspective. It gave
Yeah.
me a new.
Yes,
I do love that it's like it teaches, I think that going through this process teaches us how to then continue on in our healing journey in a new way. It kind of gives us a new way of dealing with our emotions or processing them in real time. I also love that you both touched on, and I think Amina mentioned it too, that the when thing that what comes up is only what we're ready for. That they because they have that heightened sense of awareness that they know us on this deeper level, they don't push us into places we're not ready for. So that's part of what makes it so gentle. They take us right into like what is ready to be lifted in this container. So I think that is really an important piece of like, how is this safe? It's because of that. It's because we're never pushed ever. It's always an opening, and we're always invited in that opening, and they make it feel safe. So we are more likely to lean in. So that is one of the things I love about it. Rob was just asking, thank you for the question, Rob. He was asking for more clarity around the idea about a container and how it works. So, and about whether or not, he says, is it my understanding the angels will be infusing energy while creating a container to hold the increased energy? Also, do the specific energy being imparted, listening to or participating in other channel messages and or grounding outside of the angels is not advised? Will you flesh that out more specifically? Yes, absolutely. So the main thing so it's absolutely okay to do grounding. But it's not like generally you want to avoid any kind of healing experiences, including like listening to, like you can listen to another person's channeled information. You don't want to listen to another person's channeled healing. And that would be big, like hypnotherapy. You don't want to engage in any kind of hypnotherapy. Anything that is going to move your energy around is the thing you want to avoid. But you can still listen on YouTube to, if there's other channels you like to follow or things like that, no problem. Just be aware if it is specifically a healing transmission. Or if it's meant to, and like if you listen to a guided meditation that's meant to take you into altered states, like wait on that until after the program. After the program, it's all good. But during the program, you are really trying to build up a system of energy. And part of that system is starting to build, like create a space where we are safe to bring some of these issues forward. So it's like, if we kind of work on this issue, how we're slowly opening the doors to allow you to feel safe to bring this forward. And then if we come in and we're like, and we're going to clear it all out. Okay, well, then we have to build it again and build it again. So that's kind of the idea. But yeah, so there's certain things, like, for example, if you were receiving acupuncture on a particular part of the body, say that you had a really sore wrist and you were getting acupuncture on just the wrist, no problem. But if you were receiving acupuncture that was designed to kind of flush the whole body, then you want to avoid that. So it's like that, if that makes sense. So if you're engaging in a very specific practice for pain relief of something specific, no problem. But if it's going to clear the chakras, then don't do it. So hopefully that helps. Okay, great. Thank you.
And I wanted to add on what Anne was just saying. I see it like that. If we have two doctors working on the same parts of our body and they don't talk to each other,
Yes.
we just end up messing ourselves up.
That is true.
One doctor needs to know that the other one. It's like, we know they are all angels or different healing modalities, but let's do one at a time.
Yes.
And then let's heal from that one point and then before going to the other. So when I think of that, I don't go and get any other thing. I'm focused here. So you have to choose your doctor. So
Yes.
you have to choose the angels who are healing you, and then trust that they will do whatever needs to be done there. And sometimes we want to do everything because we think I'll do a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of that because it's not enough. We don't have time. We get overwhelmed and the healing doesn't work. So no one wins there. So
Yeah.
No mixing Tylenol and oxycodone. None of that.
Thank you for that. Yes, exactly. So, and then we have some dates questions. Dates are not my forte. I know that we start June 7th, but Wendy, could you answer the dates about when our live sessions are? They are over Zoom. Someone asked, they are over Zoom. Could you share the dates?
I have shared the dates in the feed.
Oh,
I
fantastic.
also shared something that I really want to point out is that it's wonderful if you can participate in those live dates
Yeah.
and participate with the group. However, if you are not able to make it on a certain date, that's okay. We will send you the recording, and the recordings, the healings and the recordings are just as effective when you listen to them later as participating live. And the reason that is because when you listen, a portal is opened, you give your permission, a portal is opened, and the angels come in and help you with your healing in that moment.
Yeah.
So every single time that you listen to a healing or the blessing on those 3 special days, it's as if you were there. The healing is just as effective, and we've always used recordings, even for the original group. We took recordings and used those.
Yeah. Yeah. And there wouldn't you attest, you guys, that some of your biggest moments came through the recordings, that it was in the sessions when you're working on your own, and I think some of that, there's some kind of like, it's wonderful to have the energy of the group, but when you're alone and you're in your own comfortable space, it's almost like you are more receptive, right? You're in that space where I'm really alone. I'm really quiet. I'm really still. Okay. I go a little deeper, a little deeper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
You're in your safe space, and because listening to the group, and it's going to give you support, but it's not going to do the work. Like, you're doing the work when you're on your own and you're quiet and you're receptive and you're listening. That's when you're going to like do the work, and the healing's going to happen.
Fantastic. And I'm scrolling down here. So I think, Wendy, you probably answered the questions about, so Soul Convergence 2 happens immediately after Soul Convergence 1, for anybody who was wondering. So we go through, and it's literally like 4 days later, we start the next one. We break them apart into 2, which helps in terms of, for some people, they prefer to in terms of budgeting, it's easier to kind of break it into 2 chunks. But they literally, one goes right into the next. And then, and that's, yes, we'll definitely have, Saskia was asking, we will have this recorded for sure for everyone. And then, and I'm not sure, Holly, what that means. What about THC? THC, is that, sorry for my not being super familiar. Is that, THC, is that pot? What is that? THC, is that the active ingredient? And, oh, okay.
Gummies? Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that question. Because there are certain things like that we say, what if I take certain things for sleep aid or whatever? Ideally, we want to try to wean off of those during Soul Convergence, because some of the different products that we take can actually either make it harder for us to feel the feelings that are trying to rise up. So, and I know some people will take it for sleep. If you can't sleep without it, what I say is do the best you can. That if you can't sleep without it, then you take it, but maybe you take less. You try to do what you can. Same thing with alcohol. If you really got to have that glass of wine in the evenings, see if you can have a little less wine in the evenings. Try to taper down a little bit, because it will help it's just like everything. Honestly, the key is freeing up energy. And what is in your body right now? What is in your world? What's in your diet? What's in your life that is taxing your energy? And alcohol, we may love it, but it's also hard for the body to process, and it can take energy. So we want to lower that. So it is that. So, but it's a balance. So say, for example, maybe the processing of the THC takes the body it costs energy to the body, but if you can't sleep without it, that also costs energy. So it's a balance. You have to, it's like I said, there's no judgment, do what's right for you. But in general, the cleaner that we can eat, and in terms of what we put in our body and around our body, the less taxing it is on our energy. We're fighting off fewer external influences. So same thing as if you're going through it, like if you're in Soul Convergence and you're going through a really peak period of healing, and then you have a friend who is like a drama person who's like, whenever you see them, they're going to be like full of like whatever's going on. Maybe you postpone that lunch until next week when you're over your own hump, because if that's as a person where the energy flows one way and it's all from you, you might need your energy for yourself that week. So, and then just say, okay, how about I got a cold, how about next week, and push it off. Cause it was like, what is it in anything? So just always think about it. It is freeing up energy in your body that you are using for healing. So, and here we go. And I think, and then, okay, perfect. You guys are getting some specific answers. Thank you so much for that, you guys. You're saying, Mary Elaine says, you're such a planner. You can totally relate to Amina. Totally. And then Caitlin says, what other treatment modalities do we need to stop? I do several things regularly to manage, treat multiple conditions, diagnosis, and supplements. Infrared sauna, no problem. Supplements are usually no problem. Network chiropractic. So that is one I would look at, the network chiropractic, because network chiropractic kind of activates the whole body. I'd have to check into that one. Let me just, in just a moment here, somatic based psychotherapy using IFS and EDMR. So EDMR, is EDMR tapping? EDMR, I can't remember. Is EDMR tapping? No. Oh, it's the eye
No.
movements. Okay.
Mhm.
So, and that's going to be working on belief systems mostly, right? It's going to be working on rewiring kind of the neural pathways. Okay. And I love network chiropractic. So let me just check for you if network chiropractic is okay for you. As they're saying that it's going to be that for that one, it's going to be about, there are like there's a guide. So it's interesting looking at network chiropractic. It is not a neutral energy because of how it was created. There was beings, energetic beings involved in the creation of that practice. So they are like, it's almost like they provide counsel during the energy work that's happening during network chiropractic. So I'm just checking to see if it's compatible with and they're saying it's one of those things where it's like it. And so let me just check specifically for you, Lori, if it would be, and they say they like it some of the time, but not during peak experience. They're saying when you're having peak experiences, they would rather, if you're going through like, if you feel like a lot's coming up, they would rather you didn't have, because they're saying it's almost like it activates the nervous system when you're going through a peak experience of release. And they wouldn't want you to go into, and network chiropractic kind of activates the nervous system. So they're saying if it was a period of relative calm, so if you're not sure, I would say maybe it would be something you could postpone and restart afterwards, but you could do it if you were going through a period where you felt like, okay, I'm all right. I'm not feeling activated at the moment. Then it would be okay. If you feel like you're going through a lot of emotion, then maybe postpone the appointment. Does that make sense? Does that work for you?
Yeah, sorry. It does. I do it. A lot of it is for physical stuff as well as more
Physical.
so than emotional. It's physical to just help my body feel good because I've got medical stuff going on.
Got it. So it would just be when if you were in Soul Convergence and emotional stuff was rising, then I would just say to try to move the appointment so that you were kind of after that hump, so that you could continue on with it. So they said, so it's one of those things where that's one that's going to be like, I can't this is applicable for everyone all the time, because when I look into it, like I said, it is guided by a consciousness. And can be compatible, but sometimes not, depending on if you're in peak experience. But for you, they're like, yeah, you could still do it. Just monitor how you're feeling. If you feel like you're in a moment in Soul Convergence where you are activated, when you're, like I said, when you're processing a lot of emotion, then it might interfere with your healing. It might, and why interfere, what I mean is that it would prevent you from moving all the way through your progression. It would sort of like, oh, you've got a little bit coming up, we'll clear it out now. And rather than saying, let's let it develop to the fullness of what this can achieve. So hopefully
wait, just to clarify, you mean that the network chiropractic would interfere with my work in Soul Convergence or vice versa?
Right. The network chiropractic might interfere with your work in soul convergence, not all the time, but only if you are going through a peak experience in soul convergence. So the way the healing works in soul convergence is you go through waves, and the wave is different for everybody. You'll go through some periods where you're like, I'm doing my meditations and I feel good and no problems. And then all of a sudden it'll be like, whoa, something got triggered. And now I have a lot of emotion coming up. So if you're in soul convergence and you're going through the phase, it might be 2-3 weeks where you're like, I got this. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. No problem. Have your network chiropractic appointment then, and it's no problem because your nervous system is not activated in the same way. It's sort of like, you know, our nervous system, think fight or flight. When we're dealing with a lot of emotion coming up, the fight or flight instinct comes up, and network chiropractic will attempt to help resolve that.
Okay.
And so, but you don't want to resolve it if you're in soul convergence, because the point is you're trying to allow that. It's almost like a flower. You want it to bloom.
It's counterintuitive, so thank you so much, because I would
Yeah,
would
absolutely.
have thought the opposite.
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
really quick, did you say yes or no on EMDR?
Oh, for EMDR. So let me just check that. And are you using that for physical or emotional reasons?
That's for childhood trauma.
For childhood trauma. So let me just check. And they're saying, and you're using it on yourself, correct?
Well, yeah, and it's patterns that are affecting me in the present that are rooted in
Yeah.
trauma, to clarify.
As long as you're using it on yourself and
Yes.
not from another practitioner, then they say it's all right
Me.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
as long as you're doing it, then it's no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then how soon into soul convergence will we hear what our angels are saying to us? I love that question. It is, and you, I mean, you have noticed, but all three, Christy, Aaron, and Amina, are now having conversations with their guides. And yes, is that a result of going through this process? Like at the end of soul convergence, we have what we are now terming soul convergence 3, which is activate your gifts. And it is one of those things where people start connecting, but we can't promise that because everybody's different. Everyone's path is different, and people hear and speak to their guides differently. So some people, like, you know, like the way that you hear Aaron and Amina and Christy, that they're having the way that they receive their guidance. Some people hear it more as body knowings. We're all wired differently. And some people, it takes more time because for whatever reason, like I said, the angels never force us. We, at the end of the day, we are always the ones that heal ourselves. The angels are trying to provide a container where that's a lot easier for us to do. And they make it more gentle. We're able to go to places we would never normally go and open up in ways that we normally can't open up. But then is it for each person the same? It's very different. But would I say a lot of people end up talking to their guides? I would say, yeah. I would say a lot of people do. But we can't promise that because it's not a consistent thing. It's based on, you know, trust that whatever comes through for you is perfect. And it is just as important, just as profound. It may just be different, right? It may be that what happens for you is that the main focus is on healing relationships. Well, that could be the most deepest, most profound thing that could happen for you. So it's going to be, it's going to be based on what we each need. And then, you know, at the end of it, is like, once you get through soul convergence, it is a major shift. But it doesn't mean that we're done. Like I am still always working on myself, I'm always looking for what's the next place. How can I grow? What's the next way I'm in my own way? So you can use what you have. Like once you go through soul convergence, the program is yours. You could actually go through the entire thing again. If you felt like you could have gone deeper, and many people do, they'll go back and they'll just use it again. And it becomes an ongoing process where the angels are with you, moving you through the healing again. So it's possible, and you can go to new places with it. But the first experience through it, this is our invitation to this really, really, really deep and beautiful way of learning about ourselves. I used to call it learning. It's healing, but it's learning about ourselves. Yeah, Amina, what were you going to say? Oh, you're muted, Amina. I'm not sure how. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I was going just to add that having done it myself and then having guided maybe 30 people as Soul Convergence guide through the process, not one of them at the end of the process were not able to hear their guides. The difficulty, the challenge that they had was they didn't trust at the beginning. It was too hard. I don't know whether this is working. And I can see that through the dreams. It's not as if I tell them, oh, you have to believe your dream. It's not I'm telling them, the dreams are telling them, you don't believe us. You don't believe us. And then when they start understanding that, so when they sometimes by the like 3-4 weeks into Soul Convergence 1, they start realizing, I can see their gifts coming up, and they channel. Some people really channel at the end. And I'm like, wow, how did you do that? And they're channeling, really channeling. And it's nice to see that at the end, and they do Soul Convergence 2, and that works. But not one of them did not connect at the end so far with me.
And
has-
that's 30 people you've helped so
Yes,
far. You know, I just
approximately
love that.
30.
Absolutely love that. Just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
If I can add on to
Yeah, please,
that,
Erin.
so I didn't know about when I started this, I was really just looking for personal healing and didn't really understand gifts and all of this, or even think that I would, expand to the point where I would be knowing what my gifts are. So when I started SC, I was just like, I want to do this for because I love being around the angels and I want to do the healing. And then by the time it started coming up in my dreams. So the dreams are extremely validating and working with your dream analyst because it's like confirming things that you're starting to realize. And then it's your dreams. So it's not just someone telling you what you want to hear because it's your dreams and then it's coming up, so then you're like, oh wow, no, I'm getting this. I can have channeling, I can have these gifts, like I have these gifts, but the wounding was in the way. Now that I've healed the wounding, I can then access my gifts. I have the confidence, the trust, the belief to access the gifts. I would have never have thought that. Like if you would have said that I am now on a path to become a healer, I would have been like, yeah, right.
This
I
is
think so.
these are the bonus. This is the
Yeah,
bonus stuff
it,
that the angels are sprinkling in. Is now,
yeah,
you're healing yourself and you're also getting these gifts and oh, maybe I should get into I'd really like to learn how to interpret dreams myself. You find yourself in a whole new community
Yeah.
of I don't want to say minded because it's not of the head, but of the heart,
Like-hearted people.
yeah.
like-hearted people. And that becomes your community. And it's, like I said, this is bonus sprinkling.
Well, I think it's already there. Like I feel like I've been using my gifts in my life, but I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, like clearing a level of wounding, I'm like, oh, that's like I've been using this, but now like it was brought up to my attention that I was using it spontaneously. But now I can get to the point where I can learn the techniques to then, enhance my gifts or make them into where I can then turn around and consciously heal or on purpose, not just like spontaneous. But I just want to say to you guys that I'm signing up for SC again. I'm doing so I'm going to be there with you guys. I'm signing up to do it again because I've seen the wounds that came up and were healed, and I want to clear more because now that I've decided I want to move into healing, Anne always says that you need to be a clear channel and you need to have it's great to have your wounds healed so that you're not viewing things through your perspective. And you can say this a lot better, but it just resonated with me that if you want to do healing, if you don't clear your wounds, you're going to be looking through your perspective of wounding, and that's going to affect your clients. So
Mhm.
now that I've decided I want to do healing because now I'm aware of my gifts and I'm going to be doing Michael Sheridan's channeling class, I'm doing SC again because I want to uncover that next layer. And it's like I want to keep going. So just I wanted to throw that out to you guys because it's life changing, it's transformational. You're doing the work and there's nothing better. There is not a better feeling in the world and you have no idea where it's going to lead, but it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I love that so much. Yes. Oh, and I just wanted to, in case you guys didn't see it in the chat, Wendy put in the dates of the group, the blessings and check-ins for this round of Soul Convergence are June 7th, July 12th, and August 16th, just so you guys know that. And like I said, great if you can make it live. If you can't, don't worry, you will get the recording. And as we said, the recordings are very, very effective. And what's neat about it is it really applies to what's going on right now. And it brings in that energy into the work that you're doing in the moment. And then also, I'm sorry, I don't know if I have your first name here, Rodericks. I don't have your full name here, sorry. And maybe that is your full name. It's a cool name, actually. But you asked about, so network chiropractic is different from traditional chiropractic. And so, but traditional chiropractic is absolutely okay. So no problems there. Yeah, thank you for asking. And then let's see here. It looks like those got, and thank you, Wendy. He's been active in the chat, and you guys all have been active in the chat, which is awesome. Thank you, Christy. Best 6 months ever. I love it. Caitlin, do you here we go.
Caitlin has her hand up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Caitlin. Yes. What was your question?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, Erin, for saying that. I have been wanting to do Soul Convergence for so long. I just recently started peace bathing, and that convinced me it's a non-negotiable, but I haven't been able to do it because of finances, I have a very challenging financial situation. I have no idea right now how I'm going to make it work, but what you said just really convinced me more, because I'm actually an acupuncturist and I have been derailed by mold illness and autoimmunity and also childhood trauma that has stopping me from being a healer, because I know I don't have the capacity to right now to hold space for others in a way that I know has enough integrity and objectivity and neutrality. I know that. And it's breaking my heart, because I know I have gifts to share and offer, but I can't because of all of this weighing me down. You really spoke to me, and the angels have been speaking to me, because I've been getting so much just through the peace bathing that's been blowing my mind. So, Anne, thank you so much for bringing this work forward. You have no idea how much it has helped me, and I can see how much it helps so many others. And I haven't even done Soul Convergence, but it's already helped me so much. It's been a lifeline. So
Wow.
honestly,
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. And I'm so glad that you shared that with everybody, because it's a real question that we have to go through, but you're right. It is a thing. First of all, every healer needs a healer, right? We all need help. And you're right that we all feel in one way or level that we're called here to shine our light in a variety of ways. Some of you are called to be in service, like you have mentioned. Some people, it's more about being the lighthouse, in among a family, among your friends, just walking out into the world and bringing that light. But we can only bring others as far as we've come. So the more light we hold, right, the more that we really are fulfilling our purpose. The more we work on ourselves, the more we shift the collective, the more we really serve as that lighthouse. Yeah. So I'm really, thank you. I'm grateful for that comment, for sure.
Yeah, I give Caitlin so much credit for realizing and listening that she needs to take care of herself before she has enough to give to others. I think that's profound.
And okay, also I just noticed Cindy, thank you for giving us your name. Cindy also asked, and you're right, by the way, I didn't mean to gloss over what you just said, Christy, like absolutely. So I was reading, reading a comment, but yes, absolutely profound. And you're asking about muscle activation therapy, and it also has to do with nerves, connecting it to and that I see that as nope, that feels that one is absolutely okay. That one's okay. So what I'm doing is I'm checking when I hear that, I check for consciousness. Is there a consciousness attached to the therapy? And there's no consciousness attached to that. So it's absolutely okay. It's just moving energy, like physical stimulus. It's not a consciousness moving through your body. So it's okay. So here it is. Okay. Okay. It looks like that one's answered. And anything else I'm missing, you guys, as you guys are scrolling through too.
Vicky Stover had a question about I can't answer it this one, but maybe you can, Anne, about galactic.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
What
trying
does it
to find
say?
it again. Vicky, where's your question? It was towards the
Is it
beginning.
up at the top?
I think
Yeah.
it's at the
This is like an
top.
Easter egg hunt. First one
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
Oh, I found it.
Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Okay.
Nope, that was a later one.
Thank you,
Could you read
Erin.
it out loud for us? Whoever finds
Yeah.
it. Could you read
Okay.
it?
It's more at the top, and I just wanted to come back to it. Oh, no. Okay, here we go. I found it. So
Okay,
it
thank
says,
you.
will SC be able to help if there is also galactic influence that would need clearing or help with? Can it help with dream analysis is if it is appropriate to this healing?
Can it help with learning to do dream analysis?
Or
Is that what
Vicky,
you
you want to just ask your question?
Yeah,
You're fine.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and my question is that if I have a really strong galactic connection as well as an
Yeah.
angel connection, will
Yeah.
this still complement that and
Oh,
help
yes.
me? Okay.
They're all
because-
buddies on the other side.
Okay, that's
They're in
what I
the
was
unity
hoping.
field, right? They're all buddies. So yes. So don't worry if you lean more towards the galactic, this is still like we all have guides, and you have, even if you have a strong galactic connection, you will still have angels as well. So it's,
Okay,
and they work together.
okay.
So as
That's
a matter of fact, you will find, so the angels that I work with are the ones that are kind of facilitating the healing, but often your guides are involved as well. So all right, yes, June 7th is our official kickoff day. So we really hope to see you there. Sending you guys so much love. Thank you so much. Beautiful questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Christy and Amina and Aaron. You guys are just amazing. I'm so glad everyone had a chance to get to meet you.
Oh, thank you for the
Thank
opportunity.
you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
you guys. Thank you, Wendy,
Good
for
luck,
managing the
everybody.
chat so well. And I will see you guys all very soon. Bye, you guys.